So I'm a big fan of juxtaposition, and I came across this painting that shows the juxtaposed relationship between life and death. The flower pot symbolizing life, the fishbone, death, the green background, a color that is most associated with life, and the white fishbone, the absence of color. But juxtaposition doesn't mean the opposite. What juxtaposition means is to place two things next to each other with contrasting effects. They have to be seen side by side because the relationship between the two are not opposed but juxtaposed, showing there's a connection to give a special metaphor. In this video, I'll break down how Zach Snyder's Watchmen uses juxtaposition in character, motifs, and mood. Character juxtaposition includes elements like pinning two opposite characters together. Another way is placing a character in an environment that they would most likely be in, but act opposite of what society expects. In Watchmen, each character's qualities are in juxtaposition with the environment of living in a hero world. Each character has its own motif that represents the character's juxtaposition. By the way, there are changes that range from costume design to character qualities because Alan Moore's characters poke at comic book heroes, whereas Zack Snyder's Watchmen characters poke at film heroes.
None of you seem to understand. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me!
In 1977, the government has banned masked vigilantes.
Congress is pushing through some new bill that's going to outlaw masks.
Fast forward to 1985, Rorschach is the only hero that has refused to retire. He figuratively says how society is filthy and it reeks.
And the night reeks of fornication and bad consciences.
However, it's Rorschach whose smell is unbearable.
He stinks at that mask!
His mask symbolizes the Rorschach test, a projective psychological test for identifying mental illness. This test is ambiguous, there's no right answer because the doctors want to see how their patients interpret the ink blots. Rorschach's mask symbolizes how he sees evil. He doesn't allow himself to interpret the morality of crime open-mindedly. There are no gray areas to crime. Rorschach sees the world black and white.
Just go away and leave me alone.
Do you care to come? I said, leave me alone!
In a world where there have only been human heroes, Dr. Manhattan struggles with the idea of himself as a superhero. Dr. Manhattan can teleport, he can change his size, he can multiply, he can
see my own past, my own future. I have walked across the surface of the sun. I have witnessed events so tiny and so fast, they can hardly be said to have occurred at all.
The juxtaposition in his character is, as powerful as Dr. Manhattan is, he feels powerless. There's an expectation for a superhero to prevent something catastrophic, to save the day. However, Dr. Manhattan is a puppet who can see the strings of his own past, present, and future. He doesn't predict the future. He's currently experiencing his past, present, future simultaneously. To him, life events can't change because he's experiencing the future as it's set in stone. Dr. Manhattan's character also juxtaposes what it means to be superhuman. The photograph of him and Janie Slater symbolizes what is left of his humanity. Just like the stars, their light takes so long to reach us. All we see are their old photographs. Heroes are known to face villains who challenge them. However, he is challenged by his girlfriend Lori as he battles his humanity. Dr. Manhattan is superhuman with a lost sense of humanity.
It's incredible.
The comedian represents what his badge juxtaposes, the flawed appearance of superheroes. He is idolized and seen as a patriot, but he doesn't do it for justice. The comedian just loves the thrill of violence. The only difference between the comedian and villains is the comedian fights for America. He became the juxtaposition of society and the government, entities who dress up their violent, savage nature to make themselves appear the good guys.
What happened to the American dream? What happened to the American dream? It came true. You're looking at it.
Other than the flawed appearance of superheroes, the bright yellow happy face with a single blood drop also represents the doomsday clock, as well as how our utopian society is built on a violent foundation. Mood juxtaposition is when you place two opposite scenes next to each other to add a metaphor to what the mood feels like. In Watchmen, one scene, Dr. Manhattan is calm during his TV interview.
When Einstein discovered that time is relative.
In the other scene, Laurie and Dan are fighting people brutally in an alley. On the first question and answer, both scenes play separately, one after the other. On the second question, the scenes blend together at the end of Dr. Manhattan's answer.
I can only see my own past, my own future. I am not omniscient.
When we get to the last reporter, a majority of the conversation is blended over the fight scene. This builds up the intensity that Dr. Manhattan feels inside until he can no longer take it.
I said, leave me alone!
Adding music to a scene that doesn't match is often used in comedy to juxtapose the mood. During the fight between the comedian and Veidt, Nat King Cole's Unforgettable plays in the background to add a comedic feel to the scene. How so? The comedian discovers Veidt's plan of taking the extreme measure to save the world by planning a tragic assault on New York City. As horrible as the comedian's past is, not even he can stomach his guilt for being involved in bringing the world to chaos.
I done some bad things. I did bad things to women. I shot kids. No, I never done anything like this.
Cyclical in thought, the government masked a perfect image of our society, all while secretly involving bloodshed to get there. Veidt's plan is a masked utopian that its foundation is also built on bloodshed. This juxtaposed fight scene leads to the metaphor that the story is all a joke.
It's all a joke. Forgive me.
Hey guys, if you liked this video, it would mean a lot to give it a thumbs up and a subscribe. It helps the channel grow. I make videos that break down elements of filmmaking, from shot lists to video journals. I also have a short film you guys can check out called Frostbite on My Dick. It's about a necrophiliac who struggles to keep his relationship alive. I post on Patreon as well. Check out my content there. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.